Cheating was not the real problem. This was. We've all heard stories about cheating spouses, but this isn't one of them. Because the biggest betrayal wasn't the affair, it was the secret hiding behind it. It all began on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. James was driving across town to surprise his wife with lunch for their 20th wedding anniversary. As he stopped at a red light near a downtown hotel, something caught his eye. There she was, Emma, laughing, smiling. Then, without hesitation, she wrapped her arms around another man and kissed him right outside the hotel entrance. For a moment, James couldn't breathe. The flower slipped from his hand. 20 years of marriage, shattered in a single heartbeat. But what he didn't know was that catching his wife cheating was only the beginning of a far more devastating betrayal. James wanted to storm across the street and demand answers. Instead, he stayed in his car. His hands shook as he quietly took a photo. If she's hiding this, he whispered to himself, what else is she hiding? That night, Emma came home acting as if nothing had happened. Did you have a good day? She asked with a smile. James forced one of his own. The usual. He didn't mention the hotel. He didn't mention the kiss. He wanted the truth. The next morning, he met with a divorce lawyer. I need to protect myself, James said. The lawyer nodded. I'll start reviewing your finances immediately. 2 hours later, the lawyer called back. James, you need to come here. Right now. Stacks of legal documents covered the conference table. James stared at them in disbelief. His signature appeared on every page. Except, he had never signed a single one. Someone had forged his name. His business shares, his retirement accounts, their lake house, even the family home. Everything had already been prepared to transfer into Emma's name within 48 hours. James leaned back in silence. The affair wasn't the real plan. It was bait. While he was distracted by another man, Emma was stealing everything he had spent 30 years building. His lawyer looked at him. We can stop this. James slowly smiled. No, we're going to let her think she's winning. For the next 2 days, James acted like the perfect husband. He laughed at dinner. He kissed Emma goodbye every morning. He even thanked her for planning their anniversary weekend. Emma never suspected a thing. Meanwhile, forensic accountants uncovered every fake signature. Bank investigators tracked the money. And detectives discovered something even worse. The man from the hotel wasn't just Emma's lover. He was the accountant who had created every forged document. The affair had been staged to distract James, while the paperwork quietly erased him from his own life. Friday morning arrived. Emma walked confidently into the bank, expecting to finalize the transfer. She smiled at the manager. I'm here to complete the ownership documents. Before the manager could answer, 2 federal agents stepped into the lobby. Emma Collins? Yes? You're under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, identity theft, and forgery. Her smile disappeared. The accountant tried to run. He didn't make it past the revolving doors. James watched from across the street, not with anger, with relief. Months later, the judge canceled every fraudulent transfer and returned every asset to James. Emma stood in the courtroom, tears streaming down her face. It started as a mistake, she whispered. James looked at her calmly. No. The affair was a choice. The fraud was a plan. You didn't just betray our marriage. You tried to erase my entire life. Emma received a prison sentence. Her accomplice lost his accounting license and his freedom. James kept his business, his home, and something even more valuable, his peace. Because in the end, cheating wasn't the real problem. It was only the smoke, hiding a much bigger fire. Sometimes the betrayal you can see is only there to hide the one you can't. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to Split Tales for more stories. Until next time, every story has 2 sides.